What's good, family? Hopefully, you guys had an excellent day. Again, another authentic, transparent live stream. I know I'm a little bit late with this one. We had an amazing Amazon webinar. We're getting ready to start that 5-day challenge starting tomorrow night. But I had to come to you guys and stay consistent. And as always, I got to give you guys the most valuable. So tonight, subject is turning what you know into cash flow, right? Turning what you know into cash flow, how to monetize your knowledge, right? Did you know the knowledge you already have could either add at minimum an extra 50 to $100,000 to your bottom line or whatever you're currently making at your 9 to 5, or if you're already running the business. Just a little bit about my story, right? I started my entrepreneurship journey back around 2009, 2010, starting with the Amazon game, right? Started with the Amazon game, figured out I could make some good money just reselling products online. Fast forward 5 years later, ended up becoming a full time entrepreneur, okay? Became a full time entrepreneur, and through the grace of God, I've been full time ever since. Just about I would say around 2020, maybe. I think 2021, I figured out or saw on the online space, it was a lot of people talking about, hey, I'm selling the course or I'm selling ebook or something like that. So I'm thinking like, well, I have a little bit of skills, a little bit of knowledge. How can I create the same thing for myself, right? What do I need to do to start creating digital assets for my skills or my talents, right? So the first thing I did was I started jumping on social media, and I'll tell you guys the right step. I'm just kind of sharing my story, how I got started um in the business of monetizing my knowledge, and how you guys can do the same. You guys can learn from my mistakes, and I'm gonna give you a step-by-step practical guide on how you can start turning your current skills and your knowledge into dollars, right? Um, I was just very curious about it. Like, how in the world can I actually start creating some of these products? So I started going to social media, like I was saying before. So I started posting on social media. I was getting some okay traction, but I couldn't get anybody to purchase any of my products. So I didn't understand how the space works. I knew I had a lot of value, but I'm like, man, how in the world can all these other people sell all this stuff, but for some reason I'm not selling anything? What in the world is going on, right? So one thing I did was I stayed consistent, right? The big breakthrough for me was actually partnering with somebody who actually had the audience I was trying to help. So just to put this in layman's terms, so I knew, again, if you guys were watching from the beginning part of the video, if you wasn't, let me catch you up to speed. I knew I had a skill. Once I did it for myself, I replaced my job selling online. I said, hey, I can teach this to other people, right? So I can help people who are already making money multiply what they're already making, right? Or supplement the money they already have coming in. So I was like, okay, well, who exactly has this audience, right? So I reached out to a YouTuber with a very big platform, and he had a pool of people well over, I think at that time, 100,000, maybe 200,000 subscribers on his channel. So I said, okay, well, about which I didn't know at the time, but I'm telling you guys, I mentioned it a few videos ago about networking, right? How can I add value to what he already has going on? And I did it unintentionally, right? I didn't really know really how to network at a high level. But I was like, hey, I can make your audience make money. These big influencers and people with platforms, they always want to add more value to their audience, right? So if you can help their audience out, it's in turn is going to help them grow their platform. They're going to add more value to their audience. And then also, guess what? You can borrow their like, know, and trust, right? You borrow their like, know, and trust, and then it helps you elevate or grow or start making sales on your products, right? Now you need to come there and have real value. We're not going to be taking advantage of anybody. Make sure you come the to the agreement or to that influence with real value. I advise that you make sure to deliver and do it for yourself first, right? Don't just go and test it out on a large group of people because it could backfire. It could damage your brand and it can damage the brand of your potential partner, right? So once you establish, or once I establish that he had the audience that I needed and I could add value to his audience, then the next thing is, how can we work out a deal? Do you pay them up front? Do you work out a affiliate split? Man, I through the grace of God, I was able to develop a friendship, and the influencer with the platform was willing to do a 50-50 split. So whatever items I would come add value to the platform, and whatever items that I had listed on his platform, if I sold it to his audience, hey, let's do a 50-50 split. You know, if I don't make you any money, cool. You know, no sweat off your back. Risk-free opportunity. And that's the best irresistible deals to put out there, because it's no risk. It's low risk. It makes it an irresistible offer. You have nothing to lose. Okay. So once I partner with that influencer, boom, immediately start growing, because I was able to build that like, know, and trust, grew a lot of my social media, learned from a social media mentor on how to grow a following, how to create real value in the marketplace. And that was the spark of monetizing my knowledge. So tonight, and I've been our education business since then. Just through Stripe, the Stripe account alone has did a little over $400,000. But we gonna even say that we're gonna say tonight that you don't even have to reach that amount. Let's say you're just trying to hit your first 50 or your first $100,000. I'm gonna give you the steps on what to do, to how to kind of create your program and what steps you need to take, because a lot of people don't feel they have any value, right? But you do have value. The thing is just coming to the awareness of how to extract that value to a point and package it to solve a problem for other people. Okay, so I got my notes here. We're gonna get into it. All right, so number one, identify your marketable skills, right? I need you to list examples of skills or experiences that the people you're trying to serve. And let me take a step back. Before you create anything, number one is always market research and entrepreneurs. What problem can you solve for other people, right? Again, I advise whether you were on here on the beginning, when I started this live stream or not, solve the problem for yourself first, right? So if you're helping people get in shape, have a transformation where maybe you were out of shape and you found out, hey, if you drink a green smoothie every day, if you exercise, I got this plan. I don't know, maybe you walk, maybe you doing something with cycling, whatever the case is, people will pay for solutions. So whatever it is that you want to package in your knowledge, and just think about your experiences and what you've gone through and the skills that you've developed over your lifetime, right? You're like, okay, Think about or document. I'm old school. I like to do it on a notebook paper. But think about, hey, I was in this problem and I made it out, right? I was in this problem. Think about all those problems and bad situations that you were in over the span of your life, right? And how exactly, I need you to sit back and reflect, how exactly did you make it out of those problems, right? Because remember, people pay for solutions, okay? So once you go and see, okay, I did X, I did A, I did B, I did C, whatever it is to make it out, you're like, okay, the next step is to go do it for somebody for free. So let's use a practical, let's just say we're talking about losing weight tonight. Maybe that's your skill. Maybe you were, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds overweight and you found a way to lose the weight without it being so hard, right? So let's say, because you have to test it. Once you solve it for yourself, see if you can solve it for somebody else. Does that same system work for somebody else? Then you take it to that person, you help them lose some weight. You're like, okay, I probably got something right. The next step would be to find out everything that you can about that person. This is how and what I mean by person is that avatar. We call it a customer avatar. So you need to figure out who you want to serve, right? And be very specific, whether it's a male, it's a female, what type of food do they like, especially if you're in the health. What are their fears that keep them up at night? What are their frustrations? What does their schedule look like? I'm talking about, you have literally, like, it's, you're talking to one person. And I know that seems strange. Most new entrepreneurs, they don't want to niche down. What do I mean by that? They don't want to say, hey, they say, hey, I got a weight loss program that can help everybody, right? But when you try to help, when you create a product that's for everybody, in turn you get nobody, because to convert or to speak to somebody, they have to feel like you're talking directly to them, and you have to enter, this is what we call entering the conversation that's already going on in their head. So the more that you can speak their lingo, using words that they may say, well, I feel like overweight, I feel like I'm overweight, I feel like I'm just a fat blob, or whatever you think that person will be saying to themselves. I'm disappointed in myself, I want to lose weight so I can be here for my kids, for my grandkids. That's the kind of language you should be using in your messaging. And of course, we just talking about weight loss to make it practical, but it doesn't matter what your solution is, right? It could be in any category, but you have to specify it and break it down to the language that they use inside of your industry, or the language that your specific customer avatar uses, okay? So you have to break it down and understand who exactly you're talking to. And whenever you start to create your marketing piece, and marketing is just helping people understand the value in your product, and why they should get the solution from you, right? So once you start to put out, again, those marketing pieces, you want to speak directly to that customer using their specific language, okay? And let me go back to my notes because I will ramble. So once you identify who you want to serve, how you come to the awareness of what problem you want to solve for them, using that notebook, you can write down your job experience. If you're having trouble, and a lot of people like have trouble, like, what value do I have? Because I was struggling with that initially too. Like, man, I don't really have anything of value, but you are valuable. You just got to sit down and think. So I recommend, I got my notes here. Any job experience that you have, right? Just think about some of the stuff that you've done on a job over the years. And let me give you an example, right? Let's just say here in South Carolina, we have a chain of grocery stores called Publix, right? Let's just say, and there's nothing wrong with being a clerk at Publix at a grocery store, but let's just say you was working at a clerk as a clerk at a grocery store, helping people check out, and you were making, I don't know, it doesn't really matter what you're making, $10 to $15 per hour, right? Working at Publix. Somebody in that position would be like, hey, I just work at a grocery store. All I do is check people out. But what I want you guys to do with this exercise is actually go deeper and see what skills that you use in the job. Don't think about the job description, okay? Don't worry about the job description. Yeah, I'm just a clerk checking people out. I want you to understand or look at what specific skills do you use. What do I mean? Whenever you're checking people out throughout the line, you have to use or have what? Great customer service, right? Else they gonna fire you. The customers will be complaining, so you have to know how to communicate, and you need to have great customer service to continue to keep your job. That one skill can be packaged and sold to a business. If you can teach businesses how to effectively communicate to raise the morale of each customer, when people feel better, they're going to come back more often. When they come back more often and they feel better, guess what? They're going to spend more money. So again, that's just a small example, but don't put yourself in the box. If you don't have a CEO job, you're not a manager, so what? Think about the direct skills that you use inside of that job. Leverage that, right? We're looking at skill set, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys tracking or you have questions, drop them in the chat, man, because it's really just a conversation. We're going back and forth. Anything that you confused about, you like, Trav, I didn't understand that, man, drop it down in the chat and we'll chop it up. Also think about, maybe if you're a parent, what's some things you do to get your kids to go to sleep? What's some things you do to get them to eat vegetables? Any little weird thing. So think about all of these solutions, y'all. You guys are so smart, and I know it's a lot of people that struggle with the same stuff. Well, I don't know what I have. Just think about, oh, okay, that's my little trick. This is my little thing that I do. Think about what you're doing to solve problems. Another one I have, think about any hobbies you have, whether that's cooking, organizing, decorating, anything like that. It could be packaged as a solution, okay? Also, another thing that I have down here for self-reflection is what comes easy to you that may come harder to other people. What do people always ask you advice on, right? Or what do people always ask you to do may be a key point to helping you figure out what value you can take to the marketplace and what problem you can solve for others. All right. The next step I have here is how to package your knowledge, right? So once you identify what you're going to do, who you're going to serve, and what solution that you can provide for them, we have to package it in such a way. And I kind of mentioned this a few times back on a couple of the other live streams, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth. What can you do with that knowledge? So first and foremost, if you don't know how to package it and you're like, man, I don't know how to do all that, I just know how to help people, what you can do is do consultations, right? Before you start being able to charge for consultations, you need to go to the market and display your value. So if you're not partnering with a micro influencer or a major influencer, you have to continue to show up. So you can even either do it the free way, which is the slower way, organically, which is through posting on your social media. Make sure you're always solving a small problem for your specific avatar. Because if you just post, we have a few friends like that in the circle that we trying to help, get a little better on social media. If you're not posting to add value, whether that's, and I mean, it could even be through entertainment. I know some people see these old prank videos, right? And they like, why in the world did somebody do the video? Is because the value that it adds, even you may not think it's funny, but somebody else thinks it's funny. And if somebody is depressed or having a bad day, they see that prank or that entertainment, they gonna hit the like button, they gonna share it. Entertainment is that value that creates escapism, right? What's escapism? It's taking them away of the reality that's going on in their life. That's why people watch a lot of TV, a lot of movies. It could even be you are some people are on social media a lot, right? They want to do better, they want to do this, but that social media, they kind of hide behind the depth. I call it the depth scroll, right? You're scrolling through social media, whether it's short form content or long form content. We got to eventually take action, right? And I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, marketing. So you have to put that content out there because it's going to attract your specific avatar or your customer or your target audience you want to serve. So again, if you're doing weight loss, you can then start posting videos of you working out. You can give a recipe that they can insert into their diet to say, hey, instead of getting that piece of cake, man, try some strawberries and some grapes. I don't know. I'm just making something up off the cuff. Whatever your thing is, give them tips along the way. And I know some of you guys may say, well, hey, if I give out all of my value free on social media, man, they're never going to pay me. They're never going to buy anything from me, but they still will because convenience is a form of value, right? Of course, you're going to have some people come in and they're going to say, hey, I'm going to just watch this guy, this woman, social media, and I'm going to do it myself. Cool. You know, you tip your hat to those people, let them do it yourself, let them do it themselves. But it's also a group of people that understand the value of their time, right? And they understand, hey, I don't want to figure this thing out myself. And also that it's quite possible that I'll never figure it out myself. So you have a group of people that, you know, just consume all the free content and they go and try it. Maybe they're successful, maybe they're not. But you also have a group of people that say, hey, I understand time is my most valuable asset. And I believe this man or woman that I'm watching on this content, they have the results that I'm looking for. I like them, I know them, I trust them. I would rather pay them for them to give me a quicker transformation. So instead of me going bumping my head trying to figure it out, hey, just leave me along the way. Help me get to the thing so that I can enjoy more of my life and my most valuable asset. So those are the people you want to target with your paid products. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with either one, but you want to and I say it probably almost every video on the internet is no shortage of information, right? You can Google anything, you can chat GPT anything, you can Claude AI anything, but it's the information isn't the problem. It's the execution, it's the network, it's the partnering with people. That's really, it's the mindset, it's the having the why behind. It's a lot of factors go into it rather than just, hey, just give me the tactics on how to do A, B, C, and D. It's deeper than that. If it was just the tactics that would work, I mean, you could do anything. You can literally Google how to do anything, but people still have to pay experts. They because they want it done faster. They're like, cool, I could take the long route and do this, but I'm just gonna pay somebody. So whatever you create in these products, you don't have to hold anything back on social media. You don't have to say, hey, well, I can't say this because X is behind the paywall. You don't have to do that because you're going to attract, right, the people who want to do it for free. Hey, good luck out there doing it for free. But the people who want, knowing time is their most valuable asset, they're going to lock in and want to continue learning with you, partnering with you, and being inside of your circle so that they can grow at a faster rate. Let me go back in my notes here. because I start rambling. Okay, so yeah, so what I was saying is share via social media, put that stuff out there. It's going to attract the right people, and then start to create. The first thing I would create, right, is and I mentioned earlier, is just start off with a free Zoom, not a free, but a paid Zoom consultation. So if somebody wanted to work with you, they wanted more information on whatever you're doing. And I think tonight we just talking if you were in the weight loss space, but this it transforms or transpires in the any industry, right? Whatever that you're monetizing or your skill set that you have, you can do this to anyone. Whether it's a Zoom call or whether it's just a phone call, you can say, hey, I got a 15-minute consultation or a 30-minute consultation or an hour-long consultation. If you don't know how to create any ebooks or anything of that sort, you can start getting paid off of that. Now, I would advise once you start to get a good bit in, you don't want to keep trading your time for money. Now, the reason why, the ultimate reason why, and these are this is how I coach most of my mentees, is the ultimate goal is to separate your time from money. So initially, just to get your feet wet, start out with doing some small calls. You can start off with one-to-one, but eventually you want to move to one-to-many. And again, I mentioned it on one of the previous videos we did, a little midnight mastermind. So you guys may want to check some of those out if you guys are getting value from this one. Is sometimes when you do one-to-many, it's not that you don't want to do one-on-one with the person, but the learning, that mastermind, somebody may ask a question, right, that you didn't know needed the answer to. Okay, so you learn at a rapid rate instead of having to go over the same questions with 20 different people throughout the day. Why not get everybody on the call together? They share their experiences. Person A, person B, person C, all of these people ask their questions, and then you just increase the value by just that much, and you can do it all in one session. So it's not that, hey, you don't want to do a one-on-one with everybody else. It's just that you will get maximized value by doing one-to-many rather than just doing one-to-one. Okay. If that makes sense, if you guys have any questions, definitely drop it down in the chat. Again, I can only see the comments here on YouTube. So if you're dropping it on any other place on Instagram or Facebook, I'm not able to see it. All right. So once you do the consultation and you like, okay, I'm good with that. I got the consultation down. I kind of want to separate my time from money a little bit. I want to be able to have a solution to their problem without me having to show up to every call. What I would recommend, which is very simple, is creating a ebook or a guide, right? So the ebook or the guide doesn't even have to solve the whole problem. You can create it to solve, hey, I can help you on your weight loss journey, but this is a ebook that I created to lose your first, I don't know, 5 pounds in a week, whatever. You would create an attractive title that speaks directly to the person you're targeting. So me and a good friend of mine, one of my business partners, how we create books or titles that do very well is what you want to do is give 3 benefits without one negative effect. So let's say, for example, if you're in a weight, just to give you something practical, I want to show you how to lose 10 pounds in a week. Eating anything you want, that's a benefit. People love to eat whatever. I don't want to, without cutting sweets, eating anything you want. I don't know what else. Another benefit, and then you would say without going to the gym or without working out more than 30 minutes a day. Okay. All right, look like we got a question coming in, and I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Good grief, great morning. What if you decide to host a free event centered around your niche? Mine is about grief. Nice. Is there any way to get financial support tactfully once they show up and you deliver the value? So great. This is a great question. If you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. Yes, there is. So matter of fact, this happened tonight. So I'm gonna give you the play-by-play tonight. So um every I don't do them every week, but this week was one of the weeks I do. So I teach people how to separate their time from money on Amazon by building the e-commerce business on top of what they already have going on. And I host free webinars from time to time to show my value to them. So on the free webinar, I give them the game on how I find my products, what the system looks like. You want to add real value to them, right? So even though it's a free event, add as much value as you can, right? I am upfront and very blunt at the beginning of that training, because most people are going to look at that free training and they're going to say, well, this event is supposed to be free. Whenever you get to the offer at the end, they're gonna be like, nah, you just trying to pull a switcheroo because everybody does it. And the way around that is just be upfront with your audience. So whenever they jump on that free event, and I'm gonna get to your question, how you can monetize it, is you can say, hey, and this is completely true. Hey, this training or this free event, is completely free, right? But every time that I do this event, or I know it's going to be somebody out there that wants to work with me one-on-one or wants to continue this training, so there will be a offer at the end. And I tell them straight up, because you want to call out the people that you're talking to, right? So you say, hey, if you got a problem with that, it's all love. You might want to end this Zoom call. I usually do mine over Zoom webinar. Is where I host my free events. But just say, hey, this is not for you. If you feel a certain type of way, if somebody makes an offer, this is not for you. Or you can just stay for the free content and just not decide to take advantage of the offer. But I let them know up front. I let them know why I'm hosting the event, to build social proof, to get reach more people that feel like I'm of value. A lot it doesn't have to feel so salesy, if you just be upfront with people and they'll respect it. And we'll have people sign up at the end of the event. So we had some people signing up for this free webinar that I actually finished about an hour before I jumped on YouTube. But that's the way you do it. Iron out your PowerPoint or your slideshow, have the offer at the end, but make sure you're at the beginning of your webinar, make sure you're calling out exactly who you want to talk to, right? And it's okay. You want to frame it as you're doing them a benefit, because you don't want anybody to sit through a free webinar and it's not for them, right? So that's why you telling them, they'll respect it, because nobody wants their time wasted. And then at the end, whatever your offer is, give them an offer, and I would say make it irresistible. So how do you make your offer irresistible? You want to minimize the risk to them. And I know you're in the grief space, but you want to minimize risk, because it's 2025. Everybody have high alerts up. Hey, somebody's just trying to sell me something, this, that, and the other. So if you come to them straight and say, yes, I am trying to sell you something because it's my purpose. And you can tell them it's not for everybody, right? It's fine. Like, you're not forcing or trying to push something down somebody's throat, but your purpose is, if you have value, like you got a grief business, if you're helping people with grief and you can help people with going through grief, that's something serious. It's your purpose and your duty to offer that help to people who want it. So, if other people feel some type of way about it, so be it. But that's how I feel about my Amazon business, right? Some people, oh, he's just trying to sell something. But I know I have something that could help people. So if I don't put it out, I feel like I'm not in my purpose. So do the free webinars for sure. I host mine on Zoom, and then make an offer at the end. Tell them at the beginning, right? You don't want to trick them and surprise them. That's when you have some problems, because they like, oh man, I know you was just trying to sell me something. But if you tell them at the beginning, it'll be completely fine. Yep. We have people in the circle that have done up to $10,000 or more on just one free webinar, hosting it every single week. That's another thing I would recommend. If you want to build your business up that way, host it every week. Do the marketing throughout the week. And the best days, in my opinion, is to host them on Thursdays and Sundays if you can. But yeah, make your offer at the end. Great question, by the way, too. And if anybody else has questions, let me make sure. Yes, financial support once they show up and deliver the value. Yes. And don't get upset. Also, I've done webinars and nobody's bought anything before, but that's okay. That's part of the journey. That's going to build your character. It's going to help you get better with doing your presentation. It's okay, right? It happens that, trust me, I don't care how good these people on YouTube and social media talk, it happens to everybody. So if nobody buys for the first, I don't know how many webinars, keep going, don't give up. It's that will and your why behind it. Because eventually you're going to start connecting with the right people who have a serious that's going through that grief and they need your help. So great question. Great question, by the way. And I completely lost what I was talking about when I answered her question. So let me go back to my notes, y'all. Oh, yeah. I think I was on ebook. So once you get burned out on doing the consultations, you may want to move to an ebook because you want to separate. Again, that's why everything is kind of going digital in this educational space, because people want to separate their time from money, right? So remember, initially, if you didn't know how to create anything, we had to jump on a Zoom call or audio call every single time. Now, excuse me, once we create an ebook, you can sell them that ebook. And again, the formula for a winning ebook, and a lot of people struggle with this. I was talking about, you're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. If you have any other questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll be sure to answer. Me and my good buddy, who he sells tons of books, one of my business partners, he was saying a lot of people, and I'm gonna share this with you guys, a lot of people struggle when it comes to creating the ebook, because instead of creating the ebook to solve a specific problem, they create an ebook on what they want to create it on, right? And that's a big mistake, y'all. Creating the ebook, you're like, okay, well, I want to create an ebook about what happened in my life and my life story. Now, guys, let's just keep it a buck with each other, right? You probably have a great life and a very interesting story. But if you want to sell books, right? People are selfish. Let me explain. Y'all stay with me. People are selfish. Now, again, you may have had a great life. It may be entertaining to you, but 9 times out of 10, people don't care about your life. They only care what you can do for them. If you're adding value to them, they will pay attention to you. If you're not adding value or you're not entertaining, they don't care. So a lot of people mess up. Hey, I'm going to talk about this that happened in my life. I wrote a book on my life. I wrote a book about my kids. I wrote a book about my grandparents. That's good. And if you want to write that book, that's good. But when it comes to taking that into the market, if it's not something somebody else can use to better their life and get ahead, it's not going to sell like that. If you can solve a specific problem, your book is going to sell, because though the people feel like, hey, I'm giving you whatever your book is charging, whatever you're charging for your book, and I'm getting back more value, right? So if you teach people, again, we're going to stick to the subject of what we were talking about tonight, how to lose X amount of pounds in X amount of days, people will be more likely to buy that because you're speaking to their current issue. They're not buying it to support you. They buying it because they want to lose weight. So when you're doing these titles, you don't have to have a sexy title or anything like that. Speak directly to the problem that the your target audience is having, and let them know you have the solution, a step by step, blah blah blah, on how to do this without this. It's that simple, right? Continue to market it. I promise you, you'll get way more sales than doing a biography on the life story of whoever, right? That's just the way the world works. Solve that problem. Solution, the money is in the solutions, okay? The money is in the solution. So when you creating that book title, I know people be scratching their head. Oh man, I gotta come up with these crazy words that flow together. How to do X without X. Keep it simple. Talk to those people. Okay. So again, going deeper into the ebook option. How that separates your time from money. Again, on the consultations, you would have to jump on those calls. Now, when you create that ebook that solves that problem, essentially you're going to put in that ebook everything that you were telling them in the consultation. Okay, so you put that in the ebook. Now, instead of having to jump on the call, because you may be with your kids, you may be with your spouse, your mom, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, you're like, man, I don't want to have to keep jumping on the calls, but I want to continue serving people and increasing my money, right? So every time now they're buying a ebook from you instead of jumping on that call, whatever you charge on that ebook. And now you can sell 10,000 ebooks a day, right? Can you do 10,000 calls a day on Zoom? No, you can't, right? But that's how you separate your time from money. You now created a digital asset to solve that same problem without jumping on that call. So it's a game changer. You can sell infinite amount of digital books, because all it is a and I don't know, I meant to say ebooks. I don't know what I just said. But yeah, you can sell an infinite amount of that, because all they're going to be getting is a PDF, but you're still going to be solving that problem. Okay, hopefully you guys are tracking on that. That's how you separate your time from money. Okay, you just solving it in a different format. One used to be jumping on that call. This other format is putting it into a PDF. Okay. Now, just to give you guys some other ones, some of you guys may say, hey, well, I'm not great in writing, which I'm not a great writer either. What can I do to get around that? What I would do, if you're not a great writer, you can record. So initially, if you didn't know how to create the ebook, I was telling you guys to jump on and either do a Zoom call or do a consultation or just a phone call. You can actually record your conversation from the Zoom call. Okay. This is an easy way to do it. And I've never heard anybody talk about it on YouTube or anything like that. But just record your whole consultation that you had with one of your students. From then, once you record it, you would extract the transcript. Okay. So it's a few ways you can do that. You can hire somebody to translate it, or you can use an AI service, right? What's the thing? You can use Otter. Otter will sit there and listen to your whole it's OTTER dot, I think it's the IO or AI. Just put in Otter and you will see it come up, AI behind it. It'll translate your whole conversation from there. Once you get the transcript, you can then send that transcript to a book writer or a writer on Fiverr and tell them, hey, I have this transcript. I need you to format it and make it flow because I want to create a book. And what they will do, they will paraphrase and format it to make or turn it into an ebook. So without you having to write anything, you've now taken your consultation. You paid somebody off of Fiverr anywhere from $5 to I don't know, $100. Now you have an ebook that you can sell an infinite amount of time. So investing, let's just say if it did cost you $100, it's going to be well worth it because you just took that one asset, and again, you can sell it an infinite amount of times, which is going to be a game changer. You're going to get your money back. You just need to make sure inside that ebook, you're actually solving a problem for your target audience. Okay. Hopefully you guys are tracking with that. So same way that I always tell you guys, we need to figure out how to monetize our knowledge in more than one way. So that consultation turned into that ebook. You guys know my play is if you got a book, then you got multiple digital products, because that book also, that ebook also turns into an audio book. You could also use a software which I've been referring to. It's called Murph.ai. Murph.ai is MURPH.ai. And what it will do is take that transcript, if I can get my words out, and it will have an AI voice, but it sounds like a human. I've used it for many of my audiobooks, and also I pass it around our mastermind and my network, and they use it. And you turn that one ebook and also into an audiobook. So now you have a package, because some people are too busy to sit down and listen to or sit down and read a ebook, right? They need to put it in on the go. Then from there, you can transform it and turn it into a course. That's your online course, stretching it out. Then from there, you can turn it into a year-long program or a mentorship, right? Just going even deeper with it. But you can take that one asset and stretch it into many different products, okay? And I know I got way ahead of the game, but just trying to give you guys a bunch of gems. Another thing, if you didn't get any consultations initially, and you want to start off with an ebook and you're not a great writer like myself, you can use that same app, Otter, and you can go in the quiet place and you can just talk out the process. So if you have that solution for somebody, talk out the process. Hey, step number one, if you're feeling like this, how to knock those first 5 pounds off, blah, blah, blah. You can talk it all the way out. That's going to generate that transcript. And then you can then send that to the person on Fiverr. If your friend or whoever is a great writer, you can get them to format it, put it in the chapters, or maybe it's just all together. The biggest thing is solving the problem for your target audience, right? That's the biggest thing. It doesn't have to be the most artistic book with the prettiest picture and the prettiest covers. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, they just want their problem solved. Okay. That's the biggest thing. Add value to them, and then the money just shows up like that. So don't worry about it. It really can just be in black and white. Long as that title speaks to them. Hey, I've been having problems losing weight. I see your book. Hey, have you been having problems losing weight? You're a busy dad, an entrepreneur. You just can't keep the weight off. I'm giving you the play, the step by step. I'm gonna see that book. Oh, that's speaking to me. Let me do this right here so I can get right. You see what I mean? It has to enter the conversation that's already going on in your target audience or your target avatar's head. Okay, let me get back to my notes here. So once you create all of that, of course, we got different formats. I mentioned the ebook, doing the calls, the online coaching. The lady with the Greek business mentioned hosting a workshop or a webinar. You could also build a course or a mentorship. The next thing is leveraging the right platform. So I use Kajabi, but I've been doing this for a while too, and I've already made a good amount of money, so it basically pays for itself. But Kajabi is kind of expensive, but it's an all-in-one platform. It's about $300 a month to host all of my assets in one spot. If you guys are just starting out, I probably wouldn't recommend it because you may not need to do everything that I'm doing from email, texting, hosting courses, mentorships, ebooks, all that, hosting webinars. You guys may want to start with something free like WHOP.com. I think it's a pay as you go plan on that. You can list your courses, your products on there, and you don't pay unless you get a sale. It takes a certain percentages of your sale, and the more that you sell, the lower the transaction or the fees are. So WAP is one. Another one I've used in the past when I was just starting is called Gumroad, right? GUMROAD.com. That's another pay as you go platform where you can list your book, all kind of stuff on there. It's no monthly plan. And I'm trying to think, I don't know of any others. There's probably a lot of other ones out there. ClickFunnels is another pretty famous one. It's another all-in-one. You have Go High Level or High Level, another one pretty much expensive, but I don't recommend the all-inclusive ones just yet, unless you're already making money in your educational business or you're monetizing your knowledge. Because you don't want to be paying for this stuff out of pocket. You need to let the business, right, the assets from the business and that cash flow to pay for all of your expenses. So start off the free route if you have to with the smaller platforms, and then you can always transfer whenever you want to start to get into text message marketing, email marketing, and start building a bigger and touching more of your clients and potential clients via building your list. Okay. Now let me get back to my notes here. How long we been on here? Let me see how long, because I talk, y'all. Let me go back to YouTube. We've been on about 51. Okay, 51 minutes. Let me start wrapping this up. So, and I mentioned this, I had number 4 was building your audience. So I kind of talked about that a bit, but I'll touch on that shortly. Is share value-driven content. And the reason why you want to do that, and not to hold anything back, because it's going to build trust. Because you may know you can help somebody, but if they don't know you can help them, they're never going to tap in with you. They're never going to buy any of your products. So yeah, I mean, it's right here on the East Coast. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. You got to make that sacrifice and put out free content. You're not going to get paid for everything that you put out, right? But you have to show the marketplace you're genuine. You actually can help them, because if you couldn't help them, let me say it this way. And I learned this from one of my business partners. People associate trust with consistency, right? Or frequency, in other words. So you need to show up to the marketplace as often as possible with valuable content. So how do you even come up with content? So every time that I'm doing these lives, I think in my head, I'm like, okay, I don't always have a topic, but I'm thinking about my average or my ideal client, right? Who do I want to work with? What problem do they have in their head currently? And I say, hey, well, I can do a live stream on this. I may not solve all of their problems in one live stream, but I say, hey, let's talk about the time issue. They may be busy. Let's talk about if I'm talking to the people that want to monetize their knowledge, let's kind of give them an overview of what they need to look at and how this stuff works. It'll help you create topics, because you're creating a topic for a specific person, and it helps with content creation, because you're not trying to, oh, let me see what's going to go viral and get the most views. All you're doing is speaking to a specific person. Now, other people will sometimes gravitate to your content, but you're only talking to the person you're looking to serve, right? And once clarity is everything, whenever you're in this space, is because you're only talking to one specific person. So no matter what, your content is going to resonate with them, because you've already thought about their problems before they did, right? They're like, man, Trav, it seemed like he's in my head and he understands what I'm going through is because I did map out their problems already and I did map out a solution for them. Boss Gaines here has a question. Somebody said, is 3D modeling and 3D printing a good startup business? It would depend, right? So how do you know? That's a great question, by the way, and thanks for watching. How do you know if it's a good startup business? The one of the ways that you know is starting with who you want to serve first. So with your 3D business, who would you like to serve and what problems do they have, right? And I was guilty of doing this definitely in the past. I would go create something or I would get something. I'd be like, man, it's cool if I could sell some cell phones or iPhones, and I'm starting with the product or what I'm doing rather than starting with a problem and a solution. So it could be it could be a great business to start, but I would start with market research. Are you going to be selling to customers, individuals? Are you going to sell B2B? We call that selling to a business. That usually makes more money selling to a business, but absolutely it's going to be dependent on the problem that you're solving. What kind of 3D printing for who specifically? Why do they need 3D printing? But yeah, you can pretty much make money, man, with anything. So like, for example, I was talking to one of the good entrepreneurs in our group, one of my best friends for sure, and we came up on a website, right? And you know what they sell, y'all? They sell thanks for the question too, and if you guys, hopefully I answered it. I know it was a weird way that I answered it, but that's definitely the right answer. Like, start with the problem first, and if you want to do 3D modeling and 3D printing, just find who you want to serve, the problem that they have, and then tie your 3D business model into that. Hopefully that helped. And I was going to give you guys an example on this. This sounds crazy, but it works. So who would have known, right, that you can create fake money and turn it into real money, right? It seems like, again, it's 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. That doesn't even make logical sense, right? You can create fake money and turn it into real money. Trav, what are you talking about? Okay. Somebody said, good stuff, bro. Appreciate the feedback. You're welcome. Absolutely. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So I think it's a website. Matter of fact, so my partner, he's doing a show. Oh, no, he's doing a movie. I'm sorry. He's doing a movie and he needed some prop money for a stream, right? Okay. You're welcome, Mr. Brown. I got you, fam. He needed some prop money for a stream, for a movie scene that he's doing. So we was just searching on Google. Somebody created fake money. So I think it was I can't remember the package, but the fake money to get the prop money for the movie, to get like a certain amount of it. I mean, it goes all the way up to like $1,800 for realistic looking prop money. So think about that, y'all. Regardless of the product, they said, hey, I want to serve people that's doing a skit, doing a movie, doing a TV show. They don't want to use real money. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create probably on some kind of special printer. I'm going to create some money that looks like money, but it's not. It's fake money. And I'm going to use this fake money, stacks and stacks of fake money. It's printed on there. This is not real money. This is a movie prop. They used that and turned it into and he bought it. I think he spent like $300, $400, $500 buying the prop money. So it's easy to say if he's spending that, I'm guaranteeing you that it's at least a six-figure business. Easy. It looks good. It looks real, but it's not real. It's just through the idea. They said, hey, I'm going to solve this problem. I'm going to market it. I'm going to do SEO. So when somebody types in prop money, our website is going to be one of the first ones that pops up. And they've taken the idea of creating fake money, prop money, and then getting real money. So they exchanging fake money for real money. I thought that was crazy. So that lets you guys know anything is possible, right? Start with the problem, start with who you want to serve, and reverse engineer your process. So yeah, man. Yep. Let me go back into my notes. I'm gonna get y'all up out of here. So you build your audience. The way that you build your audience, again, repeating that step, is by sharing value-driven content. Um, Also be authentic. So you guys know I be on here. I'll stumble over my words because I'm not trying to come off as being perfect. To me, that's not real. None of my streams that I'm doing are editing. So when you hear me get caught up on the word, you're going to hear me stutter and say it 2-3 times. It's just, that's just the way life is, right? And I don't need to come off of here as fake. Either I know what I'm talking about to help you guys or I don't, right? But I'm not perfect. So if you're looking for like a perfect person to watch on YouTube to learn from, or you're looking for a perfect mentor, that's not me, right? I'm just myself. Can I help add value? Yes. Am I gonna mess up sometime? Yes. Because and do I know everything? No, right? But I do know what I know, and I do know that I can help people. The next tip I had here was the importance of email list, right? So your email list is almost like a digital gold mine. So the reason why, and I got you, Mr. Brown. Let me say this, and I'm gonna bring your question up. The reason why email list is like a digital gold mine is because on social media it's great to have a big following. If you guys are following me on Instagram, I have over 150,000 subscribers on or followers on Instagram. Here on YouTube, we still got a pretty small channel. If you're not following me on IG, follow me at Travis_GWV. We gonna build up the YouTube too. So if you guys are some of the few people that's watching me late night here on the East Coast, man, welcome to the journey. Y'all sit in and watch the growth of this channel. I'm telling you now, you guys get a front seat to see. We're going to explode this channel by adding a ton of value. So don't just watch me. Make sure whatever value that you do have value. Add your own value to your channel. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it doable? Yes. Right? You're going to see a small town country guy explode this channel. I don't know where we at now, maybe right at 300 subs. Well, we're going to do it just off of the strength of adding value to people's life. I'm going to be talking to my customer avatar, and you guys can do the same. I'm going to show you in real time how this thing works, y'all. I forgot what I was gonna say, and I got you, Mr. Brown. So the reason why email list is a digital gold mine is because on this social media, regardless of the platform, you can get kicked off at any time, right? So they can ban your account, they can close down your page. You don't own that. So the big thing is whenever you have an email or whenever you have a phone number, regardless if your page gets shut down, regardless if you get hacked, you will always have access to those potential customers or that email list, or maybe people that have bought from you in the past. Okay, so email list, you always want to find a way. If they feel you are valuable and they want to work with you, make sure to get these people on your email list. So whenever you're doing a workshop, whenever you have an ebook, whenever you have something you can help them with, you would have access to them, because social media is not promised. I don't care how big your page is. YouTube doesn't care about, because I've seen people with millions of subs get their channel shut down. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Facebook. So realize these are big corporations. And you need to start owning your customers. And the way that you do that is actually building your own list. getting their emails and their phone numbers, and then speaking to them directly through that. All right, let me answer this question here. Mr. Calvin says, not to get off, but subject, bro, what's the best item to sell in the first quarter on Amazon? I know you have that knowledge. So I would uh do reverse. So I would approach it the same way. It would be reverse engineering. So the first quarter, what I do well is, I specialize in the book category. So the college kids are actually, they will be going back either today here is January the 6th. They'll be going back next week, I think my wife said. So for me, it's textbooks, but it could be anything, right? With January, we know Valentine's is next month, so it could be something related to maybe getting a Valentine's gift. We got Martin Luther King Day coming up. You think about any holidays or on the cusp of holidays, you want to look at what's going on in the United States, anything like that, like any events coming up. You want to, I would say, at least be 30 to 60 days out before you list it on there, because it's going to take time, and usually people buy before the event. I would look at events. You can also look at staples. When it's cold, it's winter, people gonna be buying medicine, people, they're gonna be trying to stay warm. Just kind of the awareness of what's going on, and then utilize that, right? Hopefully that made sense there. But instead of expanding so far out, I stick to one category and get really good at that category, and then I diversify from there. So great question, by the way. And if that didn't answer your question, just let me know, and I'll come back to it. Just be a little bit more specific, and then I can give you some more clarity on that. Great morning said, that's a great point. Perfection is my biggest setback because my niche is a sensitive topic. Yes, it is. That keeps me from being as consistent as I should be. Yeah, completely understandable. And I ain't always consistent either. But I think when you and this is just my opinion, I think when you tie your purpose to, like, hey, and this is what's going to help me in 2025, is saying, hey, I look at myself as being selfish whenever I don't share my information with others, because to me, as a man of faith, and you guys may believe, may not believe, but I can only share my truth, is that it's not my knowledge specifically anyway. God allowed this to come to my awareness, to come into my mind, to build this knowledge. And I feel like the reason why he entrusted me with this knowledge was to share it, not just to hoard it, right? Because if I'm not willing to share it, and this, as crazy as it sounds, he wouldn't have any use for me. Like, I feel like I made it into 2025 for a reason. What's my purpose? Is my purpose to come on here on YouTube every day and share with others, give value to others. And I feel like if you maybe can tie it to something deeper, because don't worry about perfection. You see how many times we've been on here over an hour, and how many times I done messed up on here. And also, your niche is sensitive, but I feel like people, look like I got an incoming call from somebody. I think people can feel your heart too, though. So even if you say something that may be a little bit out of the way, they know it's coming from a place of love and a place of, hey, I'm trying to help you out, if that makes sense. Okay. I know that's a little bit, and I know your industry is a little bit different. But yeah, don't worry about like trying to, and I know it's easier said than done, but don't worry about trying to be perfect. Whenever you come off as genuine, like, they know people ain't perfect, man. They know people ain't perfect. Amen. I'm a believer. This is my awesome. And I'm gonna check out your YouTube too. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but I'm definitely going to check out your YouTube. And yeah, I'd be interested in looking at your journey. I definitely support. Somebody said, Peter Paul said, guys, listen to Trav, change the game for me. Grateful forever. Blessings, bro. Bro, I need to contact you, right? This gentleman right here, y'all. I don't know if y'all seen. I don't know if that's the testimonial my assistant put up. Bro, I need to connect with you. I owe you a 30-day mentorship. This guy, correct me if I'm wrong, bro, took my 5-day Amazon challenge. He said he spent his last little bit of money. I got busy. I apologize to you. I was supposed to connect back with you and give you a 30 days free mentorship to help you scale. But I don't know. We got busy, but make sure you send me an email, man. We definitely gonna connect. I appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, took the little bit of money he had, y'all, and ran it up. I think you said you was up to maybe $4,000 to $6,000 per month. But man, I'm gonna help you scale that to a six-figure business. I appreciate you jumping on here, man. It's been a minute, but I haven't forgot. I just got busy with a lot of stuff, but I got you though. Make sure you reach out to me, or text that number and let me know. Let me know that that it's you. Okay, just let me know it's you. Appreciate you, fam. Somebody said, "What time do you usually stream?" I'll lock in and support you. I appreciate you. It's usually late night, but I need to be a little bit earlier, right? I need to be a little bit earlier because it's harder to get people on the late night. I want to start streaming anywhere from, and I need to be consistent with the time too. So you're challenging me, boss games. Uh, I had to do my free Amazon webinar tonight, so I was a little bit late. But I would say usually in between 8 and 10 is when I want to stream. Yep, in between 8 to 10 is usually when I go live. But I need to set in on a direct time. Once I get my girls back in school, they starting on tomorrow. We'll set in and lock in the time. I appreciate you holding me accountable. That's a great question there. Yes, it's a small channel, but growing. Thanks. I should have. Nah, you don't have to, because we just talking back and forth. I'll be sure to support for sure. For sure. Yeah, that'll be interesting in seeing you grow that. Keep going. Copy, my brother. Good to see you on here too. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, y'all. Let me get to this point. So I shared about the email list, and then the last point was monetizing effectively. And it's just pricing your knowledge. I recommend underpricing. So the mistake I made at the beginning, I knew that I could help people grow a six-figure business. And I think the reason why I didn't get sales initially is because I overpriced my courses and stuff. I'm like, hey, I can get out here. I can actually change your life. And everybody like pause, like, bro, hold on, bro. That's just you're charging too much. Your energy is just too crazy. Like, we don't want that. So I would say start with a lower price, because you can always raise your prices. That was the mistake that I made. I started low. I started too high. Then I had to come on back, get some social proof, and then I can kind of raise it where I want to. So start low, undervalue yourself, because it's going to allow you undervalue yourself as far as pricing, because it's going to allow you to get a lot of testimonials in. That's how I got a lot of video testimonials, a lot of written testimonials in. And social proof is everything online these days, y'all. Again, everybody, they got their antennas up like, man, you scamming, you doing this, you doing that. Social proof is everything, okay? So once you start to get these, a bunch of reviews, people gonna start locking in. Oh man, we call it FOMO, fear of missing out. They're gonna say, hey, let me see what this one is about. Shell said, I missed that. I'm not sure what you're referring to. But yeah, it's all good. We're gonna keep coming back every night. So whatever you miss, we're gonna keep coming back, okay? And let's see what the last thing. Okay, price. So yeah, pricing your knowledge, understanding the value of what you offer, and then again, starting with low-cost products to build trust. And then you upsell them once you build that trust, like the challenge that I did. I think it was $297 and $497. Once you start off with a low ticket product, then you can kind of upsell in the mentorship, but you got to show people that you're valuable initially. You have to show them before you can upsell them or move them through your funnel. Oh yeah, shit. Michelle said you said you had a free seminar earlier this evening. Just send me an email and text me. I'll send you the recording to it. Yep, I'll send you the recording while you're still in my iCloud. Just text that number and I got you. It's all good. So tonight, y'all, it's about 1:30 in the morning. I've been on here for a while. If you guys got value tonight and you want me to come back tomorrow, drop a one in the chat. Do you guys want me to continue doing this? Or you're welcome. You're welcome. Do you guys want to continue with these masterminds? And also, if it's any specific topics that you guys want to hear me talk about, if I know it, we'll talk about it. We'll break it all the way down. If I don't know it, I'm pretty sure somebody in my network does. Maybe we'll have some guests on, and yeah, we'll talk about it, y'all. So we got some ones here. We got a couple ones coming in there. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value. I am about to go get some sleep. If you guys are interested in mentorship, me helping you, working with you one-on-one, text that number. Or if it's anything I can help you with, y'all be blessed. Love. Have a great night. Let's go.